Hi, characters! I'm making another video. I'm in my Dance Central dancing shirt. Not because I'm dancing this time, but I was dancing. But I'm actually going to talk about how much I love information. Right now, Game of Thrones is on, to be honest, because I'm watching it for the fourth time, the second episode. If you haven't watched my recap video, you need to get on it. I'm also going to post the blog that I wrote in reaction to the episode because I'm so much a dork. I was so in it. I had to write a recap as well as do a video reaction. I had so many feelings, you guys. There was a bucket and I put my feelings in it and they overflowed. So I had to write and I had to do a video because when I love things, my heart, it grows 3 times too big for my chest and I have to share it somewhere or I explode. I really love things. I love information. I love learning things. I've always been a proud dork, reader of things. I think it's because when I was a kid growing up, we had the entire encyclopedia books in our basement and they just looked like gold to me. They were beautiful. They were like gold leaves and pretty. Even before I could read, I would open them and look at the pictures and just be like, this has information that right now I'm not getting all of it because I'm just looking at this picture of the sky. But one of these days I'm going to read this whole page and know everything that's on it because I like knowing things. And that's, to be honest, like from that point on, whenever I would have questions, I would want to know the answers for myself. I don't want people telling me their version of the answers. I want to know for myself and create this picture in my own head of what the information is providing for me. I've always been like that. Even as a kid, I used to sit like this close to the TV. I was one of those kids. And my mom was like, get away from the TV. Why you always sit so close to the TV? It's because I felt like the TV was the information zone and I wanted it like in my brain. Like, how close can I be to get all of the information into me? I don't want it flying somewhere and I miss a piece of it. I hate that. Even in classes, I would be the first to second row proudly because the teacher has the information and it needs to go from him to me. I don't want it to be all ducked around other people. Like, I can't hear what I'm supposed to know needs to be like downloaded into my brain. Like, it's like the Matrix. Like, why would I want a partial download when I could have the full download and then I can decide what I don't want and whatever. But I love being a member of the information age that you can go to the internet, you can go to Google, you can find out so deeply about things. I absolutely love when I get like deep into a television show or some book series and there's already like full Wikipedia fan page in process. I love the internet. I love all of you people who love things as deeply as I do and have been waiting for a source to share it with other people. It makes me so excited, especially with Game of Thrones, that I have fans all over the world to share my passion with. Shout out to Emergency Awesome. Charlie, I love your YouTube videos. I always shout them out because every time I watch Game of Thrones, I want to know what's Charlie's reaction to this scene. Is he feeling it as deeply as I am? And he's super deep, like read all of the book series, has like all of the fan theories back and forth. So I love knowing that things. I always got to be deep into knowledge when I'm a fan of something. I'm not just a surface level fan. I've deep dived into it. Even when I like hear a song I like, I'm like, who sang that? Who wrote it? Who produced it? Is it like a cut or something? Is that a riff of a 1980 song that they like brought back into the beat to re-record? I want to know all of it. I want to know all of it. I'm a real big dork. And so I'm happy that I have the opportunity to share all of my geekdom with you, and I will continue to do that. Don't worry. I just wanted to share a little piece of geekdom that I shared with a friend of mine. Shout out to Corey. I love you. We were talking last night, and I shared with him one of my very favorite books, of A Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. If you have not read this book, get it. If you don't have time to read, you better get the like books on tape audio. It's so good. So good. So I think I read it maybe in like 7th grade, and it was really formative for me finding that book at that time in my life, and especially now seeing who I've become, I can see how formative that book was to me at that time, growing between, a child, which a lot of people, nobody paid attention to me that much when I was a kid, to like starting to form the shapes and body of a young woman. People started to look at me and have comments to me. Oh, look at your hips. Oh, you got some hips. Oh, look at your breasts. And I'm like, why does everybody have to have an opinion on my body that they never did? Like, why do you get a say in how I get to look, or an opinion on how tight this shirt is, or how much I need to not know that? Like, I used to hate that. Like, and I just would feel that inside my body with anxiety of going out each day. And is there going to be opinions on my body today? Because I think I'm growing, but that's just a natural thing. Like, I couldn't help that. Like, if I wanted to. And for me to be feeling so out of body during that time of my life has really brought me a lot of insight to characters who, you know, like Fairyless, I'm writing right now, this character who feel very out of place in this time and space that she was a person in. And reading A Handmaid's Tale was formative for me because this entire world is a dystopian future where there's been like this like nuclear holocaust, and a lot of the population have become infertile. So the women who still have the ability to reproduce are like clutched together into this hendom and called handmaids, and basically sold off to rich families to make babies for them. Like, here, you have your very own baby factory by the way of this chick in your family now. So it's told from the person of a handmaid in a family trying to figure out this crazy society and who she is in it. And I loved it. It was so deep for me to find at that time when I felt like society had too many opinions on me being a woman and becoming that, and what that was supposed to look like, and how it was supposed to, in my mind and my body, have some unity that I was just trying to figure out on my own terms. This is a great book for that because it is such a well done society and viewpoint of this very wonderful woman inside of it, and how her thoughts and emotions and reactions and feelings and history just gets wiped away by other people's opinion of what she should do with her body. So I was really excited because I found out Hulu is in the talks to do a mini series of A Handmaid's Tale. And I was doubly excited because Elizabeth Moss is in talks to star in it. I love Elizabeth Moss. Of course, she's from Mad Men. You know her from that. But I love her deeply from On the Lake, which is this Netflix series that if you haven't watched that, you need to get into that because it is so good. Anyway, so Hulu's in talks to do it, and I'm just apprehensive. I'm like, who is going to be the writing team? Who is going to be on board to like do that directing? Because I just don't want them to mess it up, and they might. And I'm already a fan of so many things that they've messed up. I don't want to talk about it right now because it's too deep. But Eric Bana has messed up a lot of my movies from favorite books. So I don't want them to do the like Eric Bana thing and then they just go for the big bucks, and it's not a good like recap of all of the emotions that A Handmaid's Tale is. So that's why I'm recommending go read the book right now. I'm going to get back to this episode of Game of Thrones season 2, like season 6, episode 2, that I've watched now like 17 times, because there's still layers that I've missed probably that I need to get into it and unearth other layers of things to be in preparation for Sunday's episode.